right. Hello and welcome back to the Oh My Gosh, You're Glowing podcast. My name is Lindsey Walker, and today is a super special and incredibly special episode because when this comes out, it is coming out on my birthday on February 17th. It's going to be my 31st birthday. So if you're listening to it on launch day, it is my 31st birthday. And wow, I cannot believe how much has happened in the last year. Stepping into my 30s has been such a beautiful gift, such a beautiful transition out of my 20s into this next decade. And 30 was everything I didn't think it would be, which, like, that's not a bad thing. I feel like sometimes we have these big, massive expectations and then they're not met and we feel like we missed out. But this is not this kind of episode. I just really wanted to drop in and record something super special for this day. And I'm recording it actually on Valentine's Day. It is February 14th, a few days before, just because I am really feeling this energy this week. If you heard the previous podcast episode, I don't even know what that was. That was like a whole channeled message. I could barely write the description because I didn't even know what I said after I got done with it. So if you listen to it, there was a reason you're supposed to get something out of it. There's so many codes and messages in there. But this week, this full moon in Leo energy has just been so powerful, so potent for me in particular. And so I'm running with this energy. And today just felt like a really amazing day to record this episode. And before we get going, before we get started, and just to give you a little teaser of this episode, this is going to be 31 lessons for 31 years. And I got some juicy ones for you. Before we get going, I would absolutely love if you want to give me a birthday wish, if you want to give me a birthday gift, the best possible thing you could gift me is a review for this podcast, or send this podcast to someone that you love, that you think would really love the messages and the stories that are shared on here. Whoever you think of first when you listen to this podcast, please share it with them and rate and review this podcast. I would absolutely love to see that. And I'd be so, so grateful. So if you want to give me a birthday gift, that can be the best thing you could ever give to me this year. So thank you so much in advance for all of your shares, all of your reviews, and just really helping me get this podcast out there to more people. I am truly, truly so, so grateful for all of you for spending your time here with me in all of these episodes. This has been one of my favorite projects that I've been working on this past year. So as we get into this, 31. I definitely don't feel 31, so I guess that's a good thing. I don't know. I feel better. I posted this last year when I turned 30. I was like, I feel better now at 30 than I did in my 20s, and I still feel that way. In fact, I feel even better. Turning 31, I was like, wow, no, I actually feel I'm getting better. I'm aging backwards. Like, this is awesome. So I'm loving this. And, as I've talked about before, different stories on here, it's not always sunshine and rainbows to feel this good, but what I've gone through and what I've taken myself through, really what I've led myself through to get to this point, has been so worth it. So sometimes you have to go through the shadows, go through your own shit to get to the other side, to get to this magical clarity space. But that is so worth it. And there's some lessons in here for you that I'm going to share that really are going to amplify that message. Now, I literally sat down about an hour ago and I had this idea a couple of days ago, 31 lessons for 31 years. Now, this is not one lesson per year. This is literally just like a channeled stream of lessons, of thoughts, of experiences. And I just wanted to write out 31 to celebrate my 31st birthday. So it's not that scientific, guys, okay? Just to let you know. And some of these have some backstories. Some of these are just like, I already wrote them down. I literally sat down and channeled this list in less than 10 minutes. And honestly, I think I could have kept going, which is kind of the crazy part. I could have kept writing more and more messages because I have just so many things to share. But these just felt like the 31 that came through for a reason. So I'm going to run with it. This is what we're going with today. And if you have been drawn to this podcast episode, there is a reason, especially if someone sent this to you and you have no idea who I am, you've never seen this before, and someone was like, hey, I think there's something in here for you. Use your own discernment, take what's for you, and leave the rest. That is practicing using your own intuition today. So let's get into it. Let's get started. And I am super excited to go through this. This could be like the shortest episode, or this could be the longest one. I have no idea how this is going to go. So we're just going to start off. Number 1, 31 lessons for 31 years. You ready? All right. Number 1, you create your own reality. You've probably heard this before. You're like, yeah, I've heard that. All right. But I have a story behind it. And this is a story that happened with one of the mentors that I'm working with. And we've been working together for a while, almost a year actually. And she's been saying the same things to me, not the exact same things, but similar phrases. There have been a lot of similar energy being reflected back to me as we've been working together. And last year, I really came to a point at the end of last year where I was getting just so frustrated. And she was reflecting back my frustration to a point where like every time she would say something, I literally had the thought like, fuck you, like just shut up. I just don't care anymore. Like, please stop talking. I'm so sick of hearing this. Well, I finally hit a point, and this is kind of where the microdosing experience came into my world as well, for me to really see my own shadows and go through my own shit and really own myself and own the things that I didn't want to see. Through all of that work, I started to see my reality differently. Now, I'm still working with her. And recently, I recognized this at the end of January, specifically when my reality started to shift and my awareness of life really started to change. Nothing externally has changed. On the outside, if you came into my life a few months ago and you came into my life now, it would look exactly the same. People would be like, why do you feel so different? She has been saying the exact same things to me now as she did a few months ago. And now my response is, oh my gosh, thank you so much for pointing that out. That is such a great reflection. That is such a great thing I just needed to see. Like, thank you. What? And the funny part was she recognized it too. She was like, you're not like shaming and blaming yourself anymore. You're not, you used to get really mad. And I was like, yeah, I used to get mad at you. I just didn't tell you that. And what really happened is I started to see life differently. I started to create a different reality. My external reality stayed the same. My internal reality is what changed. And now I'm hearing the exact same things that she's saying, but I'm hearing them differently. So this is a prime example of how you create your own reality. And people say this stuff all the time. And if you're wondering, how do I do this? You do your own work. You do your own shadow work. You go deeper. You lean into the things that you want to lean out of. Yes, that's very generalized. That's why working with coaches and mentors are so important. And I could go on this topic for a long time, but we got 31 lessons to get to. So I'm going to leave it at that. But the point is, you can hear the exact same thing later on, and it's going to sound differently. That's why if you watch a movie, if you watch like a kid's movie, you might look at it totally different. You're like, I know I saw this when I was a child, but I feel like I'm watching an entirely new movie. Like, did they change something? No, you're just seeing it through a new lens. But it doesn't have to be years. This was from end of December to end of January. My reality shifted that much in my mind. I'm seeing life differently, which means I'm also moving through life differently. It does not have to take time. Time is just a creation of our own mind anyways. So it's just up to you how you choose to experience life through your lens. So you create your own reality. And this is like, I want you to hear it so much deeper than just, I'm sure you've heard this statement before, but I want you to actually hear it. All right, moving on, because we got 31, so I can only expand on these so much. Number 2, you cannot get off course in life. Nothing is ever a mistake. It just might make a good story and you'll learn a lot. Oh man, there's been so many things that have happened. Oh, and by the way, this is not all just like from the past year specifically. This is literally just, like I said, 31 lessons for 31 years. I just want to celebrate my birthday, my 31st birthday, and these are the 31 lessons that dropped into my head as I channeled them. So, you know, yes, they're a little bit more relative and recent, but it's not specifically in the last year. Just wanted to make that clear. But nothing's ever a mistake. That can be a challenging thing to come to terms with because a lot of times if something happens that you were like, "Oh, I didn't want it to go that way." Whatever the experience is, whatever the thing was, and now, you know, you might feel like you regret signing up for that thing or leaning into something or hosting a specific event or whatever it is. And you're like, oh man, I got off path. Man, so many people, am I off path? Am I off course? Am I on my soul's highest path? Look, if you're following your intuition and you are just moving, you can't just like, I guess you could. People are going to disagree with me on this. This is how I see it. You're not just going to be on your soul's highest path like as if it's a straight line. Your soul's highest path is also not a straight line. Yeah, sure, you could see it like that in your mind's eye, and sometimes I do during readings and things like that. But in reality, it's not this linear path. It moves all over the place. It's like a snake. It just keeps going. And you are going to move on and off and on and off. And yes, you might be moving closer to it or further away, but your body's going to tell you. It's not necessarily that you're off course. Nothing is ever a mistake. There's honestly so many different timelines, so many different versions of your life that could unfold. And the crazy part is, you're going to end up at the same place. You're just going to take a different path to get there. Maybe you wanted to take the scenic route. That's cool. Your ego is probably pissed off, but hey, you're still going to get to where you need to go. You're just going to have a different story to tell when you get there. So, no, you're not off course, but definitely listen to yourself. Plus, then you have a great story to tell. I got so many stories to tell from the last year from shit hitting the fan. So I'm just racking up the stories at this point. So I'm here for it, which moves into number 3. Live for the story. Which decision feels edgier? Don't be boring. Half the shit I did this year was literally like, well, this would be a great story. Like, let's just like do this because it's crazy. Do this because it's fun. Do this because like I cannot wait to tell people later on down the line when I'm like telling this part of my life. Yes, this is just one of the stories, by the way. Yes, I found this woman on the internet. She was a business mentor coach and she was, dancing around and just being unapologetically herself. And so randomly I go to her in-person event and then drop, 5 figures on a mastermind for mentorship. What? What? That's real. That happened. Yeah. Did I feel called to do it? Yes. Was it so intuitively led? Was every part of that intuitively led? Yeah. Did it make any sense? Not necessarily. Same thing like leaving my job. Is that an epic story? Yeah. Like, hey, I got an intuitive message to leave my job and then I did it. Okay, some people are like, you're fucking nuts. Well, you know what? That's fine. I'm living a great life and a great story, and I'm going to be here to tell about it because I live a healthy life to get there. Number 4, you can receive all the advice you want, but ultimately you have to choose to heal or not. You heal you. Now, if you've heard me talk about healing, your body is always trying to heal. Your soul is always leading you to healing. Yes, but stop giving your power away to other people. You heal you. The end. Get the advice, receive the direction, receive the mentorship, receive the coaching, and you have to heal ultimately. It goes back to the very first one. Someone could tell you the exact same thing over and over and over and over again, but if you don't hear it, if you don't actually receive it, if it doesn't land in your body, they could say the same shit all day long and you just won't hear it. You heal you. Number 5. Oh, I love this one. Experience is the best teacher. Man, you want to learn something? Go out and experience it. Go find out. Book that trip. Book that event. What happened? Book that event. Do it. Just move. If you're like, I don't know how this is going to go. Well, you're not going to know if you don't go. You're not going to know if you don't book the trip, book the event, do the thing. If you're just sitting in your house wondering, I wonder how that would have gone. Well, you didn't do it. So now you really don't know. And if you notice, almost, I'd say 99% of the time I go on a vacation or go on a trip or go somewhere, I have some crazy experience. And then what do? I come back and tell you all the lessons I learned and put it on a podcast. Yeah, that's because so much happens when you leave your house and have an experience. So go have an experience. That'll be the best teacher you'll ever have. And in person, 100%. I didn't put that on here, but I feel like I could tag it on to this. In-person experiences, hands down, are the best. I know we've all started this journey. If you were part of the 2020 awakening, which is kind of where I came out of this from, and we all started online, and it's like there was actually in-person events happening before we all knew they were actually happening. So now they're coming back. Go to an in-person event. That is my additional advice to number 5. Okay. Number 6, if you have a desire to do something, there's a reason. It's not random. If you desire to have a lot of money and make a lot of money, there's a reason. If you desire to make a huge difference in life and help other people, there's a reason. If you have a desire to go to a specific event, there's a reason. If you have a desire, if it's coming from a deep desire, no matter what other people think about it, there is a reason. Listen to it. Don't try and logic your way out of it. Not everyone didn't get the same desire as you. So that's why when you're like, well, other people don't want to do this. Yeah, that's right. They don't. You do. So do it. I know I'm going to have a lot of tough love on this one. I hope you're ready for it. All right. What are we on? Number 7. Love your body now. I know this can be challenging. I know this can be triggering for certain people. But your body, like everything, is going to change and ebb and flow, and it's going to look quote unquote better, quote unquote worse, quote unquote different, whatever it is. But it's never going to feel or look the same as it does right now. Love your body now. Yes, support it. Yes. And we're going to get into this for the next few. But love your body now. The end. All right, number 8, which really goes into that one. Number 8, feed your body good, clean, nutrient-dense foods. It's not a weird diet. It's a supportive lifestyle. You know how many people made fun of me when I was in high school eating just good food? And they were like, oh my God, are you okay? What's wrong with you? And I was like, well, this feels better than, eating junk food. So I'm fine. Thanks. Want some? Yeah. Okay. Also, I've gone through 500 diets. Okay. I've gone through all kinds of elimination diets, different diets for different reasons, taking food out, all the things. I've literally done so many things related to food. But if I could just give you one piece of advice towards food from a foundational perspective, nutrient-dense, clean, whole foods, the closer it is to the actual food, the better. Yes, the organic, the grass-fed, the non-GMO, all that stuff. Basically, less processed, the better. Now, I've also heard, energetically, there can be certain things, and the combination of foods matter. If you want to get into that, you can, but foundationally, can we just start with good whole foods? The end. Start there. What your body will tell you what it wants and what it doesn't. We don't need to make a whole story out of it. We don't need to be like, oh my God, I'm allergic. Ugh. Stop. Your body just doesn't want that. I just posted today about the fact that I just added eggs back into my diet last week after being off of them for an entire year because my body didn't want them. It didn't resonate anymore. And then recently, I was like, you know what? I feel called to try it. Try them again. And now I'm just very intentional about only eating eggs from our local farm that's really high quality. Okay, my body loves it. Did I have to make a whole story about, oh my God, I'm allergic to eggs now? This is terrible. No. It's a waste of energy. Your body will tell you what it wants and what it doesn't. Just listen. Number 9. You can either pay now for your wellness or pay later for your illness. But paying now means you'll actually multiply your investment in you and live a more fulfilling life. You've probably heard this before. Pay now for your wellness, pay later for your illness. Yeah, but you'll actually enjoy your life better if you focus in investing on yourself now from every level, from every aspect. This is not just food. This is your emotional well-being too. This is your spiritual well-being, energetics, everything. And people blame, we're going to get into money in a minute, but people blame money all the time. Oh my God, that the higher quality food is too expensive. Okay, well, if you're eating like chemicals and garbage all day, eventually you're going to end up on a shit ton of medications and you're going to be really sick and paying later. So pick your pay. And right now, you're going to have a much better, more fulfilling life if you actually support yourself. So maybe it's a personal opinion, but pay now. Number 10. Oh, and can I go back to number 9 for a minute? We don't have a guarantee for tomorrow. So, everyone's waiting to say like, well, I want to make sure I live to blah, blah, blah. You don't know how long you're going to live. I'm not being morbid, but you don't. So there's that. All right, number 10. It's not that here's the money one. I forgot it was the next one. Great. It's not that you don't have the money for XYZ things. That thing is just not valuable to you or you don't see the value in it. So stop blaming money. It is fine to choose something different, whatever the something different is. You could apply this to literally everything. If you just don't desire something, if something is not valuable to you, then it's not valuable to you. Then you don't see the value that it's being given. But it's not money's fault. So you are either pulled towards something, it's valuable to you, you see the value in it, or you don't. The end. Quit the money stories. I'm still working on them for myself as well. This is not like a one and done type of thing, but when you start to see money in a different way and you stop blaming it for all your problems, it's actually going to want to be around you. So, number 11, this is a business one, but I have all kinds of different ones in here. Number 11, the business launch only failed because you stopped launching. You know how many failed, quote unquote, air quote, launches I had this past year? I launched a lot of shit. I literally went through a season where I just kept launching a new event like every 2 weeks, and it literally gave me launch fatigue. Oh, that was a time. That was a time I learned a lot. I have great lessons about that. I have great stories still. But the only reason it was a quote unquote failed launch is because I just quit showing up and I quit talking about it. So nobody even knew I was doing it. So it's only failed because you stopped. Number 12, when you play to get, you're in scarcity and playing a short-term game. I did a lot of playing to get last year. I was always trying to get something from someone. I was always trying to get. Even like when you hear that, like, trying to get just feels like, like yucky. It's because it is. You're trying to get something from someone. Stop trying to get. You're not going to get anything. In fact, you're probably going to push it away because you're just trying to like get and take. It's like, it's gross. Which moves into number 13, live to give from empowerment and without attachment or expectations, and you'll create a life of abundance. If you are just willing, and not just willing, but excited to give from a place of not trying to get, giving just to give, it's magical what will come back around to just for you to receive. But not giving to get, giving to give. There's a difference. You can even feel it when I say it. Number 14, you will have more than one awakening in life. Like that's a guarantee. Unless you're just asleep, in which case you're not listening to this podcast, like at all. Not even a little bit. And you're going to have more than one awakening in different areas of life. It's not just spiritual. There's so many other levels to awaken to in this life. I'm not even going to get into it. If you know, you know. Number 15, chasing validation from others will only lead you to giving your power away. I tried this. Don't do it. Chasing validation for others is like waiting for someone to tell you you're good enough, which is what we were all taught in school. Well, guess what? We're not in school anymore, so leave that shit back in the schoolyard. Plus, I never liked it anyways. Number 16, Inner power, confidence, and peace comes from being willing to see all of yourself. Oh man, like I was avoiding a lot of shit from myself. And I was just waiting for someone to give me this confidence and give me this power and inner peace that I just really, really wanted. And guess what? Once you finally hear, listen, and process all the stuff going on in the background of your mind, once you finally see all of you, you're not going to be trying to show up as someone different. You're not going to be trying to perform. You're just going to show up as you because you own you. But you kind of got to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, if you haven't spent time by yourself and you have no idea what your energy even feels like by yourself, step one, find out who the fuck you are. And your inner power, your confidence, and your peace will just automatically drop in. But you have to be willing to see all of yourself, not just the parts that you like. All of you. Oh man, number 17. Oh, wow. You know what? I didn't even realize this was number 17. I just wrote this out, I don't want to say unconsciously, subconsciously. It was channeled, right? Okay. But it's number 17 and my birthday's on the 17th and I really like this one. All right. Number 17. Shout out to the mushrooms. Psychedelics are not scary. How you used them in college was just irresponsible. I can say that from experience. Not that I was a total crazy person in college, but I certainly had my fair share of experiences, chosen and not. But if you use high quality, well-sourced psychedelics, they are not scary. They will not harm you. But if you're using them in a college setting and you're in Vegas and you're drunk and then you're around all these other people as well, it's probably not going to go so well. You're probably not sitting around setting your intention and journaling and integrating in your body. Just saying. So, and also, the mushrooms will call you. And anything that any plant medicine will call to you. You don't have to go looking for them. I promise you, I did not go looking for them. They found me in a safe way. Number 18, the sisterhood wound is a real thing, but when you open yourself up to receiving genuine love and connection from others, the right women will find you. I even found incredible women and an incredible sisterhood before I felt really ready to receive. And I struggled. I'm grateful that those particular women have stuck around and have loved me through the times where I wasn't necessarily to receive their love. But I exponentially grew my community of women most recently in the past few months because I started to become open to receiving, but not only from myself, from others. And that's when you're going to heal that sisterhood wound, is when you actually allow yourself to be seen by others and you're seen in a safe space and you're seen by women who actually care. If you're like me, you have been stabbed in the back by women in the past and they were, you don't have a great view of women friendships. That's why I'm not friends with anyone still from high school and college. Didn't go so well. So yeah, it's hard to say, and I really wanted to create really close friends, but when you have that, it's not always the easiest. But I will say, being in groups that do feel really good, that do feel really supportive, they can heal those wounds. But I will also say, you have to be willing to receive them. It's not going to be the group that heals you, but it will give you that opportunity. Number 19, everyone has fears and doubts, but some people see them and move through them, while others make those thoughts mean something about them and it stops them in their tracks. Move with fear and quit waiting for it to disappear. It won't. Yeah, if you're waiting for fear to disappear to move, I hate to break it to you, it's not going to happen. You're just going to have to learn to move with the fear and not let the fear stop you. That's the difference. Number 20, moving your body is not an extra thing. It's a requirement to health and longevity. But also, know when your stress meter has tipped and quit running your life on cortisol. Look, I've been the person that was so addicted to working out to the point where I would have an anxiety attack and a panic attack if I didn't make it to the gym every single day. So, okay, we've evolved. But also, couch potato-ness is not helping you. You've got to move. You've got to move your body. So there is a healthy balance. There's 100% an intuitive way for you to move, but there's got to be some type of movement in your life every single day. So do what works for you. But this is a requirement. This is not like a nice to have type of thing. Moving can also be walking. It doesn't have to be like, and I used to be this person too, it doesn't have to be like a check mark, I went to the gym today. It can be a walk. At some point, you would probably like to strengthen your muscles and do some weights and do some other things and up your cardio a little bit, but it doesn't have to be this massive, intense workout every single day. Listen to your body. 21. This is good. Crying isn't weird. Society just made it weird to express emotions. One day, society just said, you can't cry because it's weird. You can't express emotions because it's weird, because God forbid we actually show how we feel. And all of a sudden, people made it mean something. Nope, you just need to express your emotions and let them go. The end. It's not weird. In fact, you're going to feel a whole hell of a lot lighter if you do it. So I recommend just leaning in. And if you're someone that's like, I literally can't cry. No, it's not that you can't cry. You are telling yourself that crying is not safe. There's a whole other story behind it that we don't have time to get into today. But it's not that you can't. Oh, this is a recent one. One of my mentors reflected this one, and I really, really like this one. It hit home. Number 22, your nervous system will always guide you to safety. But if your nervous system associates problems with safety, you're just going to create more problems. Whoa, when I heard that, it was like mind blown. We all try and create nervous system regulation. That's like a hot topic right now, okay? Everyone wants to regulate their nervous system. Everyone's a nervous system coach. But if your nervous system feels safe in problems, guess what? You're going to create more of when you're looking for safety. More problems. So you have to recognize that and repattern yourself to say, okay, wait a minute. This is just a comfortable pattern. This doesn't mean I want to recreate this, and you have to repattern yourself. But you have to recognize that you're actually doing it. If you're not recognizing that you're doing it, you're not going to know to repattern. But this one hit home recently. Number 23, when the universe sends you signs, listen to them the first time. Otherwise, they'll just get louder. Same with your body. I mean, you don't have to listen to the signs the first time. You can absolutely put yourself through the misery and the louder lessons that are going to come with it when you ignore it. Like I said, it's just going to be a different timeline that you put yourself on. It's not like you're going to not have the experience or not have the life you're meant to have. You're just going to have a different story to tell about it. But when it's just a little tiny quiet message, you don't ignore that shit. Pay attention to it. Which goes into 24. Coincidences don't exist. There are no such thing as coincidences. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. What a coincidence. Nope, I don't believe it. Number 25. You are more powerful than you believe. Can we hear that again? You are more powerful than you believe. That's it. Number 26. The only reason you were attracted to that room or group or event is because you are an energetic match. Own it. How many times have you been in a room? Have you been in a space? Have you been attracted to a certain group or event full of people? and you get in there and you're like, oh my gosh, all these people are better than me. How did I get here? It wasn't an accident. If you were not an energetic match, you would not have been in the room. You would not have seen it. You would not have been called to it. People see invitations for things all the time, every single day. The only reason you are in that space is because you are an energetic match. So calibrate yourself to it. Own it. Rise up. That's all you have to do. But shoving yourself lower and saying, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. I don't feel like I belong here. I think everyone else around me is smarter, is more successful, is better, blah, blah, blah. No. Calibrate to it. Own it. If you have to just absorb the energy when you're in it for the very first time, absorb, because it's going to send you higher faster. And then ground yourself so you don't like fly away. Just kidding. Okay. Number 27. The energy behind what you do or say will transmit and be felt stronger than what you say or what you're doing. You can't fool energy. I've talked about this a couple times on the podcast recently, and this has come up quite a bit in a lot of my mentorship spaces. And it's really, I've played with it even, and it's like, yes, I work with energetics, and yet sometimes even the ones that work with energetics feel like we can like fool energy. You can't. If you're doing one thing, if you're launching a course, if you're launching a class, if you're putting something out there and behind the scenes, you're like, I don't really feel good about this, but like, let's just put it out there and see who wants it. No one's going to fucking want it. You don't even want it. Why would they want it? If you're going to an event and you don't really want to be there and you're like, nobody's talking to me. I shouldn't have gone here anyways. You don't feel like you belong and you don't even want to be there. Why the fuck would anyone talk to you? You can't fool energy. So stop trying. 28. Right here and now is all you've got. Quit past and future tripping. Ground into the now. A good old lesson from the mushrooms that I have felt deeply. And guess what? What comes with grounding into the now is so much gratitude. Like true gratitude, not just like, oh yeah, I'm grateful. Like, let me like write 5 things I'm grateful for today. No, not that shit. Like I looked at flowers that my husband gave to me yesterday for Valentine's Day. I've never been more grateful for flowers in my entire life. I wasn't expecting them. I wasn't thinking, oh my God, I can't believe it wasn't something else. No, it was like they were the most beautiful flowers I'd ever seen. And I was so grateful in that moment. That is being here and now. Number 29, if you have fallen off listening to this episode, this list, I guess, for lack of better terms, these lessons, if you've fallen off, let me bring you back for this one. So bring it back, come back. If your brain has gone off somewhere else and you've started thinking about 500 other things, bring it back because you really need to hear this one. Number 29, you might be a starseed from another planet, but right now you're a human. So start acting like it and enjoy this earth and the body you've been given. Yes, we're all not from here. Duh. Past lives, parallel lives, starseed, the seed, whatever, wherever you came from, wherever you feel connected to, it's all real. It's all a thing. But guess what? Right here, right now, you are on planet Earth. And if you are just wishing yourself away, at some point, you're probably going to manifest that shit. There is a reason you are in a human body. There's a reason you are here on Earth. And it comes with being a human and living in this 3D. So come back. Because you can't float away just yet. If you do, you're going to be gone. And then whatever your mission was is not going to be fulfilled. So come back. You can be a starseed when you're dead, which will happen faster than you think if you don't want to be here. Number 30. You're not meant to do this life alone, so stop trying. Coming from a very independent woman myself, tried to do lots of things on my own. And collaboration is magical. but also collaborate with boundaries. So collaborate with the people and do this life with people who you resonate with. Don't start using this as people pleasing and just doing shit because other people want you to. That's not cool either. Stop trying to do this life alone. Number 31. Okay, last one. You ready for it? Are you here for it? We've gotten through 31 lessons for my 31 years on planet Earth in this lifetime. Number 31. If you believe it, it will happen. Time is the only variable. So release the strangling energy you have on your desires and just let life flow. You're blocking your own desires with your need frequency. And again, I say this as someone who has totally done this. Oh my God, I need this to happen. And it's almost like this energy of like, "Ugh, this has to happen. If it doesn't, I don't know what I'm going to do." You're like, I really believe it, but it must happen. It's going to happen. But if you're trying to strangle it to death and like, you're in this like, oh my God, my life isn't complete until it happens energy. You're literally, life is just going to be like, okay, we're just going to wait till she chills. Okay, is she chill yet? Nope, definitely not chill. Okay, well, we'll come back around. What about now? No, God, it's gotten worse. Okay, all right, we'll come back. What about now? We're getting closer. We're getting closer. I think the chillness is coming in, but not yet. Oh, yep, she's really had a breakthrough now. Like, I think we're close. Just hang out. Oh, yep. She's had a meltdown. Yep, she's felt it all. Oh, okay. Yep, the need frequency is gone. I think she's good with it. Yep, can we give it to her now? Yeah, she's ready. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. So maybe if you just chilled out the first time, you didn't have to go through all this. But, if that is the lesson you choose to take, you just have some great stories to tell later. And you just took the scenic route. I've taken lots of scenic routes this year. It's been fun. It's been a good time. It's led me to this podcast. I can't be mad. Not everything is for naught. Your ego just likes certain things to go a certain way. And that's usually why it's going a different way. All right, friends. 31 lessons for 31 years, coming in here and celebrating my 31st birthday and feeling truly better than ever, which I am entirely, truly grateful for. And it's been because of all the experiences that I've had up to this point. And I know I will have more. We're obviously not done. But I really wanted to share all of that with you. And I am so, so grateful that you're here with me to embark on this journey and to receive this wisdom. So know that whatever message was meant for you, you heard it. And whatever didn't resonate was not for you, and just let it pass on by and let it go. As a reminder, if you would love to send me a birthday gift, I am accepting birthday gifts in the form of podcast reviews because that is what I desire right now. So thank you so much for being here with me in this episode and for all of the others. Sending you so much love. I am so, so grateful every single time you spend your time with me in these podcast episodes. I have really, really enjoyed creating these. Truly, this is actually one of the most fun projects I've ever created. And so I'm excited to just keep going. And I can't wait to continue sharing all the messages and lessons I have for you to keep glowing from the inside out, because that's really what we're here for. Yes, there's healing going on. Yes, there's growth and expansion happening. But this is really, truly, this is deep transformation, but not just to transform. This is so that you feel your best and you're not faking it. It's not from the external. It's not this facade. It's coming from inside. That is a true inner glow that nobody can take away from you when you create it yourself. So, with that, I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me on the Oh My Gosh, You're Glowing podcast. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.